Welcome to my video this week. Today we're going to try to make the saxophone sound like a didgeridoo, and we build an adapter that makes this possible. So the didgeridoo, as most of you know, is a traditional Aboriginal Australian instrument. This is a modern replica of it. Traditionally, the didgeridoo is made out of a termite hollowed eucalyptus tree branch. And this one I think is made of bamboo, and it's a long resonator. It doesn't have any valves or keyholes, so you can play one drone. The one end is just an open end as a mouthpiece, and what's important is it doesn't have a narrow gap, what's usually called the throat in a Western instrument, so you can sing unhindered through the instrument. So you can use a lot of vocalizations to create interesting drone sounds. So obviously we can't put the didgeridoo right onto the saxophone, so we have to create a different resonator. It's important that we have a long resonator, and I can blow this thin pipe directly, but if I put a 1-inch coupler to it, then I can also use it to play drones. So I can either put this one on the saxophone because it's too long and I could no longer hold my saxophone. So what we're going to build today is an adapter like this. So now we cut the PVC pipe into shorter segments, actually 6 segments. We connect them with U-turns. And now I can couple this. It's just a shortened saxophone neck here. I can connect this to my saxophone body and I can create drone sounds. So the saxophone really acts as a bell and a flange, so we can better couple the sound in the resonator to the sound field of the free field. And so it's basically what you call impedance matching, and it basically allows us to play the instrument louder. So let's now build the adapter and then play it. So when we start building the adapter, let's start with this 180-degree turn. I build a guide for it. You don't have to. If you build more than one, it might make sense. So basically all I do is take the 90-degree elbow here. I'm going to cut along here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 U-turns. That means we need to make 10 of those angles. So now I have enough of these. One. And then the next step, we have to send them down a little bit. So in this next step, we're going to weld the 180 degrees turns together, and we're also going to weld this part together, which I cut into 3 pieces. That makes it easier to perform the instrument. So we have to use the clear primer first, and then we're going to use the regular PVC cement. This stuff is really not very healthy, so you have to make sure you ventilate the space, wear a mask and also gloves, and read the instructions properly. So we're going to put the primer first. You have to be careful. This is the clear primer, so you won't see it as easily as the violet primer. Now we're going to do the U-turns. So we rented out the space. Now what I'm going to do is I did a template, and I cut out the template, and we're going to cut out the plate that holds all those pipes together. Just get the overall dimensions first. Now we're going to tape this template here, and we're going to pilot drill the holes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make bigger pilot holes for the 5/8 inch drill bit. So this big drill has a lot of torque, so we're going to clamp it. So we're going to cut half the side first, and then turn it around, because then you get neater cuts. Now we turn the whole thing around. Now we just have to round the corners and cut this diagonal. Now we can sand off the corners a little bit. So now what we need to do is we need to cut this neck piece off and glue it into a coupler. So when we cut this here, this is conically shaped. So we have to make sure that we build something that it's leveled in here. So we put this ring here So we have a guide, so it's basically horizontal. Here we're lucky the connector is far enough away for the octave key. Otherwise you would have to desolder it first. Now we're going to move the edges a little bit. So I'm going to get the hot glue gun out, plug it in obviously. Okay, here we go. Just gonna remove some of those edges later. We can unplug it, and we should unplug this. So the last thing we have to do is we have to cut all those pieces. And I printed out the book page where you have all the measures. I'm going to put them also on the YouTube clip. Now the 195, that's this one. So we need 190. We need 2 of those. Sorry, we need times 3, 190, and 1 to 10, and 1 to 30. These measures are all in millimeter. We have our PVC pipe. We need the gauge and the little saw. I marked here the 190. We need 3 of these. Okay, so we got all the pipes that we need. Okay, now we just have to put the whole thing together. Put the mouthpieces coming here. Make sure you don't connect those 2 pieces, because otherwise you're going to have a very high-pitched instrument. Sure they are closed tight. Put the coupler here. And we're done with our adapter.